What's going on, everybody? We're here. Let's talk news. No tiptoeing around it. Jared Spurgeon, your new Minnesota Wild captain, the second full-time captain in Minnesota Wild team history. So congrats to number 46. Alexis, you and I have been talking about this for weeks, as has the entire state of Minnesota. Finally have a captain before training camp kicks off tomorrow. Spurgeon, are you surprised?
No, not surprised at all. A little sad because we all know I wanted Marcus Foligno to be the next captain and believed he would have been a very good one, but not surprised in the least bit. I think Spurgeon, I think that it was between Spurgeon and Foligno. We've talked about it a lot. And as soon as Mikko left, it was kind of, well, who is it going to be? And Spurgeon has a lot of traits that, you need in a captain. And that's exactly why he was given this role. I think a lot of reasons people thought maybe it wasn't going to be Spurgeon was because, and I know I was kind of on this train as well, but he has a very similar personality to Mikko in the sense that he's a little bit quieter. He's a little bit more soft-spoken. That's kind of his personality in the locker room and on the ice as well. It's just kind of how he is. So I think a lot of people were thinking maybe the Wild were going to go a different route with the kind of personality they chose for a captain. But as far as having the traits that you need in a captain, Spurgeon has all of them.
I mean, without question, he is a leader. He can he commands that attention a little bit in the locker room. He is a quieter guy, but there's still a presence about him, and he's still great with the media, which is another, important aspect of being a captain. You have to be able to talk to him. Zach Parise, Ryan Suter will remain the alternate captains. I know their names probably were considered as well, but I like having a fresh face on with a letter. I think that's a very important thing. Marcus Foligno, I think, would have been phenomenal. And I do stand by that. And I would love to see him maybe with an A at some point in time in his career here, whether that's with the Wild or not. But I think the main reason that Spurgeon ended up getting it is he's a part of this franchise, right? And he just signed his 7-year extension in 2019. So he's going to be a part of the future of the Minnesota Wild. So I think that was probably the big boost that gave him it over Foligno, in addition to all those qualities that you had mentioned, Alexis. I like it. I approve it. I give the stamp of approval again. No slight meant to Zach or Ryan at all. But I just think it was important to get a different voice in there to shake things up. And a guy that he seems to kind of bring both sides of the room, because again, you still have a locker room that's very young on one side and very old. And while he's an older guy with Fred, what is it? 4 kids?
Four kids.
And
he's got a Connecticut water treatment system too.
In case you guys haven't, he's a great spokesman for Connecticut. So it's a captain quality. No, I mean, I think he'll do really well. I'm excited. We will hear from Bill Guerin, general manager Bill Guerin, as well as Jared Spurgeon within the hour. So stay tuned to our social medias for their official reactions. But I can already tell you it's going to be, hey, we're happy. Thank you. Looking forward to getting the season.
Training camp starts any minute. Just everybody, it'll be fine. Yeah.
I'd be really curious, like what he can actually do on the ice when things go wrong. Because it's like Koivu, his whole thing was the Finnish stare, just staring at somebody, then being able to jump across the bench and basically scream at the refs to just try and keep everything in order, but also to get guys fired up. And I've never seen Spurge do that. I mean, you can talk about his motor, you can talk about how he's overcome so many of the odds, basically being at summer camp invite in the Wild, and be able to go all the way up to captain is amazing. But
heck yeah,
can he fire it up? That's what I'm curious about.
That's why I wanted Marcus Foligno, because that dude was fighting everybody in the Winnipeg bench that one time. He blacked out from adrenaline and was just throwing haymakers left and right. That's who I want as captain. But no, I agree, Fred. And I think that, kind of what I said earlier, I think that's the big question a lot of people have is, how is a guy who is so soft-spoken, who is so quiet and has such a calm demeanor, going to handle those high-intensity situations? Because you do need your captain to be able to step in, whether that's on the bench step in or on the ice step in, do something where you can, rally your team and get them through those tough spots in games. So I do think that Spurgeon has a feisty personality in a way, but not in the same way at all that Mikko did. So I'm excited. I think it'll be fun to see kind of how he blossoms as a captain in his time here as captaincy. I'm really excited about it, and I'm very happy that they picked him. There was a lot of great names that they could have chosen on that team. And as president of the Marcus Foligno fan club, it is a little bit of a letdown that it wasn't him, but Spurgeon is a fantastic choice. So.
Well, right. And like you had just mentioned, Alexis, I mean, maybe we do see him have a new side to him, right? I mean, again, we're only privy to so much, whether it's on the ice or in the locker room. Mm-hmm. There could be a whole nother crazy side to him where he's been just waiting to unleash this animal within. And, he's just going to go ham while being respectful to the officials too. Because that's the main goal, right? Is he needs to represent the team and stand up for him with the officials as well, not just the opposing team. So,
hey, we've all been through some changes this year. Maybe Spurgeon is one of them. Maybe he also went through some changes and he is ready to be all kinds of feisty on the ice. Who knows?
Found himself during the pandemic.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? So the Wild are celebrating this milestone season, in case we've all forgotten, right? It's their 20th year in 20 year in existence. It's crazy. So they're heading into this big season. He's only the second full-time captain in history behind Mikko. I mean, which again solidifies Mikko's place in the Wild record books, but still, is that just kind of bizarre to think about, Alexis, that they've only had two full-time, because it was a very interesting time, right, when they had the rotating captain and they didn't do it that way. I just find that so surreal.
Well, I think the stakes feel so much higher because of that reason, because it's like we don't, as Wild fans and people who have worked with the Wild and all of that, it's like we haven't seen this. So it's like Mikko Koivu is the person you think of when you think of a Minnesota Wild captain, right? I mean, that is the one name that comes to mind. And now you're thinking, okay, someone's got to fill his shoes. I mean, he did his job pretty well as a captain. So it seems like the stakes feel so much higher just because of what Mikko did and how long he was captain here and just the way the Wild have done their captaincy in their history. So, but yeah, it's strange because I think a lot of other teams, is it the New Jersey Devils who like don't have a captain? They're just kind of rolling without one. I mean, teams do it so many different ways. It's like, this is just how the Wild do it. And it's going to be Spurgeon's turn. And I'm interested to see if they keep him as captain for as long as Mikko, if he's going to be the captain his entire time here, if they're going to switch it up again at some point in the near future. I am excited to see kind of how they handled that from here on out, because I think when Mikko was captain, it got to a certain point where it's like, well, we can't take this away from him unless he gets traded. And that's exactly what happened. He got traded.
They
and
were
now it's
scared.
like, well,
you mean the Finnish stare scared everyone off from like, no, it's Mikko, it's yours, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, did it not feel that way to you? Like, he's not getting that taken away at this point. I mean, he's captain forever as long as he's here.
Right. And again, you got to consider Mikko grew into that role too. You see that young kid, and granted Spurge is quite a bit older than Mikko was before he was handed the C, but still it's like, maybe this is a good opportunity for him to rise. I mean, again, at the end of the day, Spurgeon's respected by teammates and by opposition and everybody in the league, again, for everything that he's overcome and just for the player that he is. He commands that respect, and that's what a leader does. So that's our Reax. That's our Beauts Reax. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, we will have more from General Manager Bill Guerin as well as Jared Spurgeon himself on our social channels once we have that media availability. But we wanted to give you our hot take, and let you carry about your day. Go Vikes, right, Alexis?
Yeah, go Vikes. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube to not miss any of our live reacts or fun.
Subscribe and miss all the beats.
Subscribe to miss everything. Miss it all, I promise. So have a good day, you guys. We'll talk to you later.